Hobo heart. Homicide report. Detective McMahon. Badge number 1025. August 26th, 2014. 11:34 p.m. 544 Northwest Terrence Street. Hey, Jason, what do we got this time? Yeah, it's another one, alright? The CGI officer shaking his head. Same MO. Chest crushed, ripped open, heart removed. Human heart from the previous deceased present at scene. How many does this make? The detective asked. Are we counting the one at the lake? Jason inquired. No, not yet anyway, replied the detective Mohan. 5 then. But there's no way we can deny that they are at least connected, Jason said to the detective, squinting his eyes. I'll heal ya, but there was no heart present. It's his calling card. There's no way he'll leave out that little detail. This guy's a sick ritual. They may be connected, but it may be a copycat. I'm not giving him the credit till I'm sure. The detective pulled out his lucky Zippo, rubbed it with his finger as he examined the apple engraving on its surface. As he lit his cigarette, he noticed a pale ring around his left ring finger. He took a deep breath and ran his fingers through his hair and exhaled. Near the woods on an old country road near the outskirts of town, a car pulled up to stop about 20 yards off the road. Seeking seclusion from prying eyes, dimmed the lights on the car. Hey, look, at least turn some music on or something, just before you start grabbing around, the girl said to the teenage boy as he rolled his eyes and fumbled for the radio. Aw, come on, don't be a sad sport and make it romantic, she laughed. Oh yeah, he said sarcastically. Real romantic sneaking off with me. While your boyfriend, my friend, sits around at home loving you. We're not supposed to be out here anyway, with the curfew at all. Oh please, that girl died almost a month ago. And I didn't hear you complaining the last time, or the time before that, she said as she unbuttoned her shirt. Come on, you know that. The car shook violently as something slammed down upon it. What the hell was that? The boy screamed as he frantically looked around. All that he could see was a single black feather floating in the air above the hood. Then, suddenly, his window burst into shards as he felt 2 stealing ice-cold hands reaching through the window and grasp him, pulling him out through the opening and then being tossed into a nearby tree. His back smashed as he wrapped around it like a rag doll. He lay there, motionless, as he looked in terror as a tall, lanky figure with white hair and crystal blue eyes that almost seemed to glow stared at him. He wore no shirt. His skin were greyish black. He had a skull on his face, the ribcage and bones to match on his chest and arms. They seemed to be painted on. He also had the bones on the outside of his hands and fingers. He wore jeans and an old pair of shoes. The boy felt the most horrible sadness come over him, as the figure changed his attention from him to the girl and moved towards the car. Tommy? Tommy! Help me! She screamed as the figure jumped into the hood of the car. The figure smashed out the windshield, reaching into the car, grabbing the girl and slowly dragging her out into the hood. She didn't fight back. She lay still now. It crouched over her and looked at Tommy while lowering its head. The creature then whispered something in the girl's ear and kissed her on the forehead. The figure started pulling something out of his chest, slowly. Tommy could hear disgusting sounds of blood dripping down and flesh rustling as the creature seemed to be reaching inside his own chest. It then pulled out from inside himself and lay it on the hood next to the girl. The figure then removed the girl's shirt. "No! Valerie, no!" Tommy used the last of his strength to scream. The figure grinned as he slammed with his fist onto the girl's chest. He struck her repeatedly as the bone crushed and popped with every strike. She violently shook and coughed up blood as he continued to hit her. Tommy lay motionless. All he could do was shed one tear. A tear rolled down his cheek as he watched the monster begin to rip and tear into her flesh with his bare hands. Finally, he reached his prize and pulled her still beating heart from inside her. He placed her heart inside the wound he had created in his own chest. Then he dug around in his pocket and pulled something out and placed it in his mouth. The creature then began to pull the girl's hair from her head and lay the strands of her hair neatly in rows next to each other. He took the object from his mouth, which appeared to be some kind of needle, and picked up the lock of hair and began to sew his own wound shut. Tommy lay in silence, in terror, as he watched the gross task to be executed with patience and precision. He noticed a small movement on the ground near the base of the car. He blinked his eyes to clear his vision and saw a small, scruffy dog pouncing around, wagging his tail. The figure stepped off the car, knelt down and patted the dog on the head. It spun around and wagged its tail. The figure turned his attention back to Tommy, then walked over and stooped down to his knees near Tommy's head. Tommy could see the horrifying details on the thing's body. The black skin, skulls and bones were part of him, not like a tattoo or painted on, but as if it was his actual skin. Tommy could see the cruddy stitches holding his wound back together, made from Valerie's hair. The creature looked down at Tommy and tilted his head as it reached down in his hand and wiped away Tommy's tear. Tommy could feel nothing but a horrible, hopeless sadness as he stared down into the thing's bright blue eyes. The figure then softly placed his hands on either side of Tommy's face. It then leaned into it closer and then spoke the words, "Do you value your heart?"